Hello, you're watching information program of International Public Movement Change the World Together, CWT News. And today we'll talk about the next themes. The International Motors Rally Peace to the World was supported by PRIZM members worldwide. The ideology of CWT is gaining more and more followers. The meeting is in Turkey, India, Uganda. The fear and greed index go extreme. Self-destruction doesn't stop. These and other events in detail and continue the release. Unity of principles and community cohesive. Such results was shown by representatives of the PRIZM community. They have carried out the action Peace to the World in the outer race format. There were much more participants than planned. They are all in all a lot of impressions.
Wide-ranging event for sure. There were gathered a huge number of cars. It was very cheerful. I think it's necessary to hold such holidays more often. On the whole, I'm in shock, because we declared 60 cars, but 120 arrived. The action was held by luck. The weather from early morning didn't hot. Good. I invite all comers to our republic, to our city. Let's get acquainted with our PRIZM activists in Kizing. Hello, the mood was excellent, but the weather in Krasnodar, as always, was baking hot. It was 95 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Of course, it was hard, but everything went by luck. As the phrase goes, there are big and small in our team, students and pensioners, as well as social workers and businessmen, all the social groups representatives. PRIZM is essential anywhere in the world, because its main idea is freedom, and in my opinion, it is the most important for anyone.
Numerous participants of the International Public Movement CWT around the world supported the action Peace to the World, Uganda, India, Turkey. The event dedicated to the Day of Memory was part of the meeting of 200 CWT leaders in the city of Mumbai. CWT leaders and PRIZM activists in Turkey joined the auto rally.
55 cars and even more participants gathered in Istanbul. Column of PRIZM activists' cars drove to the Russian Federation embassy. Participants lined flowers under embassy gate paying the tribute to the memory of people killed in the Great Patriotic War, According to the event regulations, a violin sounded and were laid floral tributes, but not the protocol united the PRIZM community of Turkey, but a sincere desire to change the world. All of this were done to ensure that the world was not ruled by military conflicts, explosions, children's lamentations and mothers' tears, but by the justice, smiles, and immutable success and prosperity.
In Turkey, the meeting of the International Public Movement CWT head and PRIZM cryptocurrencies creator Alexei Muratov with students was also held, as well as in Cyprus.
A meeting of PRIZM cryptocurrency founder Alexei Muratov was held within the framework of the working tour through the Asian countries. About 100 users of PRIZM took part in the event organized by Huda Berdi, PRIZM leader in Turkey. There were answered the important questions for the community.
I have a big request to all the participants. In fact, PRIZM has not yet been launched. Now we are selling PRIZM at a fixed price of $1 through the leaders of our international social movement in different countries. The task is as follows. Small amounts of PRIZM have to be sprayed as start pre-mining for the maximum participants number in the largest number of countries. All of this have to prevent such problem as in Bitcoin, where 90% of coins lie on 10% of wallets. Therefore, I have a big request. Don't sell PRIZM to large investors who will sit in a so-called locomotive, do nothing, paramine and in essence parasitize on our community.
They asked about the blockchain, nodes, PRIZM, and cryptocurrency. We answered all the questions, all about cryptocurrencies. Now they know about the disadvantages of Bitcoin, about the Ethereum latch, about the advantages of PRIZM. We explained everything. The fact is that in PRIZM there are no minuses. We explained everything and showed it. We have developers who have all shown.
The advantages of PRIZM cryptocurrency are obvious without background information. However, there is such one in Turkey. Last week, it became known that one of the creators of the quasi-national cryptocurrency, Coin, disappeared, stealing more than $200 million of ordinary citizens' money invested in coins. Huda Berdi emphasized that such information undermines the credibility of the cryptocurrency as such. However, it is not so important for PRIZM.
Unfortunately, it's true. It is very unpleasant, but there are scammers in cryptocurrencies. This is very bad. PRIZM isn't ACO. In projects at the ACO, you can invest $1,000 and burn it out. It's not fair. Therefore, we really like the PRIZM cryptocurrency and its blockchain.
Huda Berdi sees further plans clearly, the constant growth and huge promotion of the PRIZM cryptocurrency. He confidently calls PRIZM users as one large family.
Alexei Muratov has well thought up to lead an audio race and a seminar and hold this events as often as possible. We are currently developing at the maximum rate.
Уважаемые друзья, PRIZM – это вот наше общее детище.
Dear friends, PRIZM is our common creation. Therefore, the success of our community depends primarily on our activity. There are rules in the PRIZM blockchain. When community members themselves promote PRIZM and for this they receive a reward from the system.
Welcome. We are waiting in Turkey for Alexei Muratov and all the community representatives. We are all one big family now.
Within the framework of the Asian tour was held a meeting in Cyprus. European university students, future programmers, with the help of Alexei Muratov, sorted out in the fundamentals of blockchain technology and also got acquainted with the PRIZM cryptocurrency. Departing to their homes, these a dozen of different countries, students will surely become PRIZM community leaders in their regions. The leaders of the International Public Movement CWT also met in the city of Churu, Rajasthan, India. The meeting was organized by the leader in Rajasthan, Mr. Gyan Singh Rathore. meeting participants clearly demonstrated how the world is stuck in today's financial model and that the PRIZM community representatives are able to save it. In addition, there was another artistic image in this action. CWT movement representatives are on the road constantly to convey their ideas and tell about PRIZM advanced cryptocurrency to as many people as possible.
Alexei Muratov Asian tour continues with trade events. Panic moves are demonstrated by the cryptocurrencies market according to the Fear Greed Index. According to the authors of the index, the value of the indicator's extreme fear is a good signal to buy. However, we note that such coefficients and experts' opinion are a certain convention. The main problem is that 90% of coins are on 10% of wallets. It is large investors who can manage the exchange rate, determining by their actions the position of coins in various ratings. It is very rare, it means the reality. And first of all, means the cryptocurrencies centering which were originally conceived as decentralized. The future is precisely behind such currencies, which are not managed by one or two hands, but are truly decentralized. Such a cryptocurrency is PRIZM. However, not so much fear how much greed provokes some users of PRIZM. Details further.
Imagine a beehive where thousands of bees work constantly, drones less than 1% among them. That is, for the effective work of a well-coordinated team, it is necessary to ensure such conditions where there will be lazy persons no more than 1 out of 100, and better less than 1. It is difficult to imagine that bees, which by their nature don't make unnecessary movements, began to colonize their own beehive with shockers, killing all the efforts, in fact destroying the hive. It is this picture that is formed given the current activity of so-called locomotives of the PRIZM community. The logic of PRIZM farm mining is built in such a way as to motivate and reward only those people who are actively develop and promote PRIZM. Inviting to the team a large investor who doesn't strike a work to build a team, you stop the branch of structure development, and the contribution of such a locomotive drawn to the community is zero.
Dear friends, today at the conference in Cyprus we concluded that it is actually necessary to properly build our structures. At the start the leaders began to build so-called locomotives, and today at the conference we explained that such locomotives create parasites in the system, large investors who sit in these locomotives and do nothing, don't develop, but simply parasitize. Dear locomotivians, finish to produce these drones. From this there will be no good, neither in general our community, nor in your structure. All the problems from them. And today these drones are not in Russia only, but also from other countries. Large investors will come to you, buy up PRIZM, and parasitize on your structures.
Алексей Муратов, как создатель криптовалюты PRIZM, может лишь рекомендовать поступать так или иначе. Ведь криптовалюта PRIZM истинно децентрализована. Это инструмент, созданный в том числе и для того, чтобы восстановить справедливость. А это становится невозможным в условиях, когда сами пользователи PRIZM набирают структуру тех, кто принципы справедливости попирают капиталом, отбирая таким образом и возможность приобретать монеты PRIZM по $1.
Продажа PRIZM по $1 осуществляется теперь только через лидеров.
The PRIZM sale by $1 is now realized only through leaders who spray sums up to 1,000 PRIZM in one hand. Therefore, it is possible that the PRIZM price will rise in the near future on the exchanges. Yes, we can't stand the concept of a stable price at the $1 level. The price can go up, but this is due to the fact that it is necessary to limit now the sale of the PRIZM in large amounts to these speculators who do nothing, only parasitize the community. Don't break the logic behind the project. I once again turn to the locomotivians. Develop your structures honestly, and everyone will get what they deserve. Thank you.
There was arranged a funeral of Bitcoin on CNBC TV channel, and it is some reason in it.
During the Fast Money program on CNBC, host Melissa Lee said that it is have no sense anymore to cover the cryptocurrency market news. As an introduction to the interview of the CEO of one of the hedge funds, she read a kind of funeral speech, remembering the brightest moment of the channel's cryptocurrency hitting. Then they discussed the Bitcoin rate, the problem of the market, the currency fluctuation, and so on. But the main problem that was not touched upon in this conversation is what we have talked about repeatedly. 90% of the total capital is stored on 10% of wallets. This is decentralization of the initial decentralized financial instrument. That is today the main advantage with which Bitcoin entered the market has been lost. That is why interest in Bitcoin and top-level cryptocurrencies is decreasing. On their place, the new generation cryptocurrencies such as PRIZM come, which are truly decentralized and not managed by capital, which will surpass Bitcoin technically and will not be centered. As for attempts to create its own cryptocurrency, as the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of the Bahamas said last week, it is important to emphasize the following. Such projects will not be successful if it's simply a fork of Bitcoin. If this is not an innovative technology, then it will not be possible to make a big step forward, as it was called in the central bank in the Bahamas. If the issuing center is the central bank or another state regulator, the project is also doomed to failure. It is necessary to distinguish state support and management at the state level. Otherwise, the use of blockchain technology, which implies the creation of decentralized projects, completely lost its meaning. And tokens are doomed to share the fate of Bosscoin, the Venezuelan El Petro, and other similar tokens. Another last week news is another Bitcoin ATM installed in the airport in Amsterdam. Perhaps for the airport itself, this can be considered a certain achievement. However, experience shows that these devices are covered with dust, as they are used extremely rarely. Altcoins are the currency of the internet, so it should be used in the network. And it's more convenient to buy and sell cryptocurrency on the online exchanges and then use a credit card in ATMs. If we are talking about it as about the technology of the future, then the speech not about ATMs at all. The infrastructure of the future doesn't mean ATMs, but the ability to exchange cryptocurrencies one for other or for fiat money without leaving your own home, and even pay for goods and services with cryptocurrency directly. Last week, the poll data was published, which shows the readiness of every fifth Russian to provide the opportunity for mining on their gadgets in exchange for pop-up ads. In general, this survey showed a high level of awareness of Russians about the cryptocurrency, but it seems not everyone understands that mining is an inexpedient use of electricity and consequently a waste of the planet's resources for nothing. Completely different principles for the creation of blocks are laid in the new generation cryptocurrencies such as PRIZM, which is based on forging. For the blockchain operation, such cryptocurrency, no empty electricity consumption or mining capacity is required.
It is all for today. Trace the events with us. Study, analyze, make your own decisions. Don't let someone decide for you. See you in a week.